Well, another day, another project. And today's project is to make the shackles for my front axle. If you've been following along on my YouTube channel, last couple of weeks we did the rotors. I got these caliper brackets made. Today we're going to try to get the shackles and the angle figured out for the shackles. So what I did here is I have the axle itself shimmed up on my table, level. Then I went ahead and shimmed up the leaf spring, you can see here, level, and then got it centered with the axle. I bought the leaf spring from Speedway. It's a Model A type leaf spring. They recommend the shackle angle right here to be between 40 and 45 degrees. So to get it to figure out where 45 is, I need the length, the center length from here to here. I went and put an angle finder on here, if I can get it to stick now. Well, right there, you can see I'm about 41 degrees right there. Actually, it has to come down a little bit more. Yeah, about 40, 41 degrees right there. So now I can measure from the center to center to give me the length of the shackles. They didn't make shackles to standard size. I don't know why. This axle I got doesn't have any markings on it or casting numbers on it. So I don't know if it's an original axle, aftermarket axle. But what I did know is the bolts that are pins, bolts, whatever you want to call them, that go on this side here are 9/16 holes. So I didn't have a bolt. So right now I'm just using my drill 9/16 drill bit. But you can see here the springs come with 3/4 inch bushings and they use a 1/2 inch bolt. So the shackles are going to be 9/16 on one side and 1/2 inch on the other side. These here have brass bushings in here already, which I'm going to reuse, and these will be on the nylon bushings here. So anyway, now that we got it set up and I know the angle's right, I measured this here, it's going to be 3 3/16. I can go ahead and start making the shackles. This morning I went down to Wilkes Steel and Wilkes Metals in Wilkesboro, North Carolina, and got me two 4 pieces, 1.5 inch wide by 1/4 inch thick. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these round on the end and then drill the holes for the pins. Well, I'll come over here and lay out the holes for the shackle. Like I said, these are 1.5 inch wide, so 3/4 and 3/4 will put you in the center. And then I'm going to go 3/4 from here to the center this way. And then I'm going to cut this as a nice round radius, so I'll have an even amount on the 1/2 inch hole. That'll give me a 1/2 inch of material all the way around. And then this one here, I'm going to drill 9/16. So what I'm going to do now is, now that I got the holes laid out on 2 of them, I put it here in the vise. I'm going to go ahead and put a weld on here, tack weld the corners, which are going to get cut off later anyway. And that way when I drill them, they'll be matched pairs. I'm gonna go ahead and drill the half-inch hole first. Then the other hole on the other side, like I said, it's gotta be 9/16. Well, now that I got them both drilled, half-inch hole on one side, 9/16 on the other, I'm gonna get a hammer and a punch. I'll go punch mark them so when I take them apart, they'll stay matched. I'll know how to put them back together the way they were drilled. And I'll probably get the plasma cutter. We'll cut off the excess on here and then put the radiuses on them. Well, I went ahead and cut the radius, rough cut them, and then I took them over here to my bench grinder and finished off the radiuses on the bench grinder. So they look nice, come out real good. And like I said, I punched them, double punched on this one and single punched on this one, so I got a match set. I'm gonna take them over here and let's see if we can put it together. Well, I got it put back together. It's looking good. You can see right there we're at 41 degrees, and like I said, they're called between 40 and 45. So put a little bit of weight on the spring. The spring will stretch out longer. When it gets longer, this will come down, and the angle get a little steeper. I think we'll be fine there. Next thing I got to do is, if you noticed, I got all the bolts really long. And you can see right here, I wanted to show you, if I were to use a short bolt like this that was just the right size for the nut to be on here, this shackle here would be riding on the threads. And the threads on the bolt will smash very easy, and then it'll become loose with a lot of play in it. So I went ahead and got both of these bolts long enough that the shoulder sticks out past the shackle, so that the shackle's riding on the shoulder of the bolt on both sides. Now what I'll do is go ahead and mark these, and I'm going to cut off the excess just to have enough to get the lock nut on there. And if it sticks out a little too far, I got a tap and die set. I'll just chase the threads on a little bit further to get the nut to snug up against this on both sides. Well, as you can see here, I got the bolts cut down, and also I had to trim the bushings to go in the bottom because the bushings had flanges on both sides, and this piece on the top has a brass bushing in it with no flanges on it. So we trimmed that down. It came out good. Everything's looks good on it. So the only thing I'm waiting on now, I ordered this week, was these tie rod ends to fit here. They got a 7-degree taper. So I ordered left and right, and I ordered a piece of tubing to make the drag link out of for the center. So we're moving along. Well, I want to try to keep it short. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and we'll probably see you next week.